Let's see. Hello, good morning. Today I'm going to spend the next 5-10 minutes talking about our vision and our attempt to actually bring an economy on-chain. So actually giving substance to all the markets that we built, all the infrastructure that we built for the last 10 years, and how a group of builders independently are converging towards this thesis of crypto cities. My name is Max Lomu. I've been in the crypto space since 2018. I spent the last years talking with hundreds of builders as a grant manager for the Arbitrum DAO. The Arbitrum DAO, Arbitrum is one of the biggest layer 2s in the space. The DAO has set up a grant program to support early stage builders. And that's how I started to talk to people and projects and understanding what they were building, what they were trying to achieve. And so we started to look at how do we bring more value on-chain. And in order to do that, we had to stop for a second and look at what we have today, what we have built in the past 10 years, and how we can use that to bring more revenue, more value inside. So first of all, we have a programmable pool of liquidity, right? The stable coins, more than 300 billions already. That is global. You can move it for a fraction of a cent. You can access it from anywhere. And I would say it's been quite battle tested, right? We had a few hacks, a few issues, but right now we are in a stage where we know the infrastructure is ready. The biggest issue is that all the value that is created on-chain normally comes from a closed loop mechanism. People speculate, they generate some yield generated. Yes, we found ways to compose and elaborate on that yield in various mechanisms, but it's always the same value that gets recycled and recycled again. So naturally, when the speculation phase dries out, like it's happening right now, all the DeFi projects, all the attractiveness of that yield starts to diminish. So what is happening is that people have started to tokenize new things. Right, we started to tokenize these real-world assets. There is about 300 billions right now, but only a few percentage of that is actively used on-chain, meaning that right now, the vast majority of those assets are simple representation of something that exists in the off-chain world and is being brought on-chain as a normal ledger, as a pure ledger. At the same time, the potential market to tokenize things that are generating yield and are generating new form of revenues is huge. Like this is a similar comparable adjacent market to what we're doing. It's a 2 trillion market. So what we decided to do? We said, okay, what is continuously creating revenue? What is continuously creating yield that we can bring on chain? And we identified businesses with recurring revenues as the lowest hanging fruit, as the primary market, so that we could bring their cash flows. We can take their cash flows, bring them on-chain, and use that cash flow as a yield, as an additional yield for the economy. The flow is pretty straightforward. We have this liquidity that is already on-chain, whether it's retail, institutional, the liquidity that DAO treasuries have. We inject it into the local businesses that have recurring revenues. They generate cash flow. We take that cash flow, we bring it back on-chain in the form of yield. And that's where it makes sense to combine it with all the infrastructure that we made, whether it's DeFi, whether it's a prediction market to hedge it, whether it's AI agent, and so on. So in the past year and a half, we built a network of more than 10 businesses. They have more than 20 millions already generating this type of yield. I brought here 3 examples. But there are many. If you guys want to chat later about what can be done, I'll be happy to. Some projects are tokenizing real estate, right? They are renting it out, so they get liquidity from this on-chain world. They buy apartments, they buy flats, they rent them out, and then the yield, the rent is being brought back on-chain and distributed. Other projects like Fractalized, they have bought a commercial vessels, chemical commercial vessels. They rented it out for 5 years, and so now they know they have this revenue coming in continuously, and they're able to redistribute it continuously on-chain with a very interesting return so far. The Bulla team is started to reach out to all the suppliers that had credit against Walmart and other big retailers, so AAA rated companies. And they are doing invoice factoring for those suppliers. So anticipating they have to wait for 30 days to receive the payments from Walmart and other retailers. They go to those guys and say, hey, I will give you the cash immediately in exchange for a fee, of course. And then in 30 days, when you get paid, I'll take the cash back. And so they have been selling these discounted kind of invoices for the past 3 years with 0 defaults, and with very interesting returns compared to the risk that are exposed to. The dual mint is another interesting example. These guys are based in Hong Kong. They wanted to help small, medium enterprises in expand and grow. So they go to laundromat businesses. They go to charging towers or car washes. And they say, hey, do you want to expand your operations? We will give you the liquidity. We'll give you the money to do that. You want to buy a new washing machine in your shop? We can buy it for you. And then we have an IoT sensor that is recording every time the washing machine is used. And so we know how much revenue you're generating, and so we can take a cut of that and then bring it back on chain. So these are some of the things that are already happening. They've been happening for the past 3 years. There is many more use cases that are interesting, that are coming up. We are exploring municipal bonds. We are exploring buy now, pay later mechanism for freelancers or small medium enterprises. Student loans, trade finance, of course, it's a huge word, but also IoT-backed loans. I think this is an interesting example because we realized that in order to have more tailored or different type of loans that are not feasible for the traditional sectors, we had to start collecting different type of data and have a way to make sure that that data is correct. So a team built a verification system using zero-knowledge proof and the TLS, the transport layer system, to basically collect in a private way, in a confidential way, either financial or non-financial data by sensors, by accessing the POS machines, to be able to verify that a condition in the companies that is taking a loan is verified or not, is correct or not. So, for example, they're able to see if you have enough cash in your bank account, if you are able to, if you have purchased from a specific supplier or not, without having to know all the exact data, without having to know your full financial statement. They're able to access these confidential conditions, yes or no, in a way that is preserving the data from the businesses, which is what they want, and at the same time gives more confidence to the lenders or to the other side of the marketplace. Once we have this yield that is flowing back on chain, I think it gets exciting again to see what can happen in the DeFi world. So that yield can then be composed, decomposed, adjusted according to the risk profile of the investors, of the liquidity providers. So you can take the yield and tranche it into senior, junior, a spectrum between the two. You can use that asset as collateral if you want to leverage it. You can enable credit, early exit. You can obviously hedge it, those type of businesses with prediction markets, with other type of platforms. So all these mechanisms that have been built for the past years are now useful for a new type of yield, a new type of revenue that is coming back on chain. What are we looking for? So this is an ecosystem that is growing. We are looking for more people that want to contribute it, they want to work with us. We are looking for either businesses with cash flows, with these recurring revenues that might want to get extra liquidity. At the same time, we are looking for capital allocators, people that have a certain risk profile, they want to invest into this type of yield-generating assets, or wallets and distribution platforms. Thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to catching up.